let us see if we can sort out my social media just whilst we wait. And I'll check that everything has happened. Hey, there we are. Check that everything has happened. Turn that noise off. Hi Sue, welcome darling. Thank you very much. Good evening Lynn. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully I've got that shared where I need it to my own page. Good evening Sophie. How are you my darling? Long time no see. Joke. There we are. Right, let's just put this away. So I have exciting news because I know that, hello Carol, welcome my darling, that the lovely Teresa Renee has on order, because her retailers placed orders, the new fabric paints from Pentart. And so I thought I would do my live tonight using some of those products to showcase them, and then when they come into stock at TH Decor, then you can order them using Terry's affiliate link, because we all know just how expensive moving house is, and there's always something that doesn't quite work or gets broken in the move or just needs to be replaced. So I did run through this lot of yumminess. Oh, they're sticky now. Earlier on the fabric page, but you can see that we have a veritable rainbow of colours. So we've got our basics, black, white, grey. So we've got our browns and our skinny tones here, and then we've got greens, blues, turquoises, reds, orange, in fact a complete rainbow of gorgeousness. So we've got those to play with, and they are just incredible. Look at that, for a bright pink and an acid green. So there's a dark, medium and light tone in everything. Thank you Sue, welcome, that's much appreciated. Now then, I've got stuff all around me at the moment because of having done a live earlier on. But here we are. And then to add to the mix, thank you very much. We've got some gold, copper, bronze, silver, and pearl white, which is rather lovely. Some glow in the darks, but I haven't got all the colours of those, and some neons. I've no idea when I'm going to use any of that as well, because these colours are so not me. The others are, though. They are a bit loud, but I'm sure that there's lots of uses, and I look forward to other people using them. We have some masking fluid, which I'm not going to use this evening, so that's good. Some fabric medium for diluting, spreading and sealing, and maybe adding a little bit of glitter. And don't use the old fabric retarder with these. I've written old paint on this one, and I'm still waiting for the new one to arrive. So that's the old products, the new products. And let me pop these on the ground where we can get them, because we're going to need to be able to access them. And then we have a plan. Now, I confess up front, making with fabric's not my thing. I can't paint for a toffee. I do good lines in aliens, not human beings. So it's a real challenge when Pentart says, will you do? Because it's just completely outside my level. So we're going to do a bit of cheap painting today. I love supporting different things. So I'm sure something similar will be available in the US, either from Amazon or from a specialist company. But I have some good old-fashioned hand-carved Indian wooden blocks. And this is these are how the Indians have made their lead fabric for years and years and years. So I have treated myself to some of these. So we're going to have a bit of a play with those and do some stamping with the fabric, because that doesn't require my technical skills. And I also have a Pentart stencil. They are rather lush. I have to say, I've got a good collection of them. We are going to be seeing a lot of different wood block stamps from me over the next few weeks, because I've got to do lots of lives with fabric, and it's so not my medium. Good evening, Liz. I think you're meant to be packing and having an early night, she says, nag, nag. So I have a screen print stencil, and in my book I have a piece of A4 card to stabilize this, and because it's a screen print stencil, I can hoik it off its base and it will self-stick. Yay! I like these things. If you've not got a self-sticky, then just get yourself some stencil spray. There we are. So we're just going to pop that on there. And the other thing I have is a really soft, squidgy foam mat. Our old mouse mat will do. But if you're going to stamp onto fabric, then you really do need, I'm going to take that out for the moment, my card. You really do need to have something soft and squidgy underneath. Yeah, so I'm going to pop that there because that sort of masks off the edges, and we'll give that a little brush. We don't need that out for the moment. We will need a nice soft one of those though. There we are. So we're going to have a little bit of a play with some of these, and I'll have to move my mat around a little bit, I think. So we're just going to have some of these up and down, forming a sort of border. I think I might just grab another set. I've got, because I'm naughty, I have more than one set of stamps, because why wouldn't you? There we are. What's that? There we are. She says not being able to find her other set of those, but hey ho. Right, good. Oh, that's where they are. Is it? I have another set in a string bag. Oh, there we are. You see, because I'm blind, I put them over there. Yeah, okay. So, and these are from a different company, because why wouldn't you have more than one? But mix and match. There we are. So we've got, I think these might be possibly a better size. We'll see. We'll do a bit of mixy matchy because we can. Let's just move that over there. Out of that, let's pop that over there. That can go over there. Let's just stick that over there, and then we can do things as we go. So I'm thinking we might have, let me think. Let's pick some colours. As you can see, I'm well prepared. Let's go with that petrol blue. Quite like the petrol blue. Dandelions are sort of white. They're not going to show that up very well on there. We might have some silver. We've got silver, so we'll pick that up. And then we're going to have, let's see, I think we might just do a little bit of mixy matchy. So that will work with that, and the white will work with that. And hopefully that will do. And we might have a little bit of black, which we might put in with a brush. Oops, she says, nearly putting that whole box in a puddle of paint. Not clever. Not clever. So let's just scoop some of the... Oh dear, this is going to be one of those days, isn't it? So the paint that I really want to there we are. We're just having to break new seals. No, yeah. Well, I think that they're just a universal thing, aren't they? I think we go back to our childhood and we all remember, dandelion clocks and blowing them in the wind. Grief, I must have used half a ton of spatulas earlier on, and they're still sitting in a pot. The brushes are too. Don't tell Terry, she'll kill me, but hey ho. So let's just pop some of that onto there. This is the beautiful petrol blue, she says. Let's let that. Waiting to catch a child from a station. I have to say that your children are not very, you're disturbing your activities. I've got baby wipes here, but I'm going to be using these at some point in another life because I can't abide waste. There we are. We're going to do a bit of self-colouring. So this is the light blue, and you see that just how thick these are. I'm not going to splodge it too hard because I'll probably then end up with it all going where I don't want it. Yeah, what? Absolutely. Why not? Why not? I think it's just part of life, isn't it? So yes, I'm getting a nice mixture. Nice mixture. I'll leave the black. I'm going to leave the silver. We might pop that through the other stencil and do a bit of offsetting. There we are. And then we'll put some white into here. Let's sort of, we could go with grey, but I think, but I'm not feeling the idea of going grey. Hello, Sandy. Welcome from Tennessee. I hope you're all well. Do I think that there's a derby or a horse race due to happen in the States very soon? Seem to think I saw someone suggesting there might be. I'm not a horse follower, but I gather it can sometimes be fun to watch horse races. Hi Diane, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's lovely to see so many people joining me. As I say, the whole intention of just doing a live today, on this page is just to try and keep the page active for Terry while she is off out and about. And much as I really do like this dandelion, I think my plan is to have a border around, so it won't matter if I'm part on and part off because I'm wanting a border going around anyway. So let's just go for it and let's have some fun. So as I say, one of the things with these wooden blocks is there's no giving them. If you think about a stamp for stamping it normally, they're soft and they're squidgy. Or they're mounted on foam, but these are absolutely hand carved Indian blocks, and so there is no giving them. So you need something behind that's a bit squidgy. So from that point of view, and we're just going to pop our paint on with a foam applicator, so that we've got a bit, not overloading it, but definitely getting a good coverage. And I'm probably not the world's expert at doing this type of stamping, but hey ho, we're going to have fun this evening. So let's just pop that down onto there, go for it, and give it a jolly good squash. And let's hope that it transferred. Hi Annette, welcome my darling. Thank you. These are just wooden blocks. I know children are a nuisance. Mine are now grown up, so we'll give that a good chance and just a little bit of time to let the ink sink in, or the paint that I'm using sink into the fabric. As I say, so we've got really quite a nice print there. While I've got this block out, I'm just going to pop this over here and we'll just do a little bit of moving about. So that colour is working really quite nicely for me. So I can just pop these in, mix them up a bit, move it about, make sure I've got a reasonable coverage. There we are, and add in. My foam doesn't extend all the way over here, so that's fine. Let's just put that one down there. And as I say, I'm wanting a border, so that's also fine from that point of view. So let's just give it a few seconds just to sit through. sinking the into the fabric. There we are. You're going to be seeing a lot of block painting from me, I'm afraid. And then we can move this about a bit. In fact, I'm going to pop that onto the center of there. It's just going to be easier for me, I think, to move this around. And that's the thing, isn't it? When you're working, don't be afraid to move your pieces around to get to where where you're comfortable. Because if you are uncomfortable with what you're doing, then actually you'll not manage to do things as well as you might otherwise. So we'll give this one and say we're just going to mix it all up, and we're going to go shades of blue. We can pop more paint out as we want. Sophie, welcome, my darling, to your ever increasing supply of interesting stamps. There we are. So let's just move that around, and I will deal with that splodge that I've made up there in the turning around, because I've got painty hands, and I'm going to need to move that over. As I say, you do need soft squidgy blocks underneath these rather than anything else. So there we are. So all we're doing is adding a mixture, and we'll pop that over there, and then we'll pick up some of the smaller blocks and we'll carry on and we'll add. And I think when you're building up a collage effect like this, then actually having a range of different sizes, shapes, allows you to build without problems. Now that's going to go every which way as I move it, so let me just wipe that off there, and I can sort of give this block a little bit of a wash. There we are. So just hunt online for Indian wooden blocks. I'm sure there'll be lots of companies that are selling them, but it's a heritage craft, and I think it's one that's important that we embrace and support people with their heritage skills, because if we don't support them, then we're going to find that the heritage skills, disappear, and that would be very, very sad. So let's see what else we've got. We've got a different type of floral here. So let me just add a bit more of that white onto there. So as I say, I fully acknowledge that I cannot paint, as in something that's meant to look like something. I can move paint around quite happy. You're very welcome, my darling. I'm glad you've moved in. I saw your video earlier with the house in absolute chaos still. I'm glad Onyx is settled in. The paints have been launched by Pentart. You'll be delighted to know. And I know that Teresa has ordered them in. So when they're in, then we'll be able to get them on from TH Decor. 1 o'clock time? Yeah, definitely 1 o'clock time. And we're all over the age of 21, so it's completely legit, isn't it? So that the white is just picking up. So we'll carry on, and we'll just add this over and around. As I say, I'm deliberately wanting just to build a border round with what's going on. Yeah, so just let that transfer over. I don't mind if I mix and match. I've got a bit more of the blue in that, and that's fine. I think it's showing up better with a bit of the blue. So let's just move that into shot. We'll pop that up there. Oops, and that's off the base table. So let me just give that a little rock. We've got lots of bits and pieces that we can add into here. There we are. So these are transferring really quite nicely. Look at the state of my hands. I don't know how Terry manages to keep clean. I really don't, because it's so not my ability. But there we are. Wouldn't do if we were all the same, would it? There we are. So let's just do the bit of moving about. I do have lots of those blocks, so there we are. And then we might, as I say, we'll add just using that paint palette to, and these are nice thick paints, so it does make life a little bit easier, I think, when it comes to doing things like this, because it's not paint that's going to slide off everywhere. You do have to actively sponge it on and things. So in the UK, ladies, my blocks and my foam, which is huge, comes from the Indian block company that I found at a quilting show. There we are. Hello, Trace. Welcome, my darling. Hello, Donna. Thank you very much for joining us. Hi, Kathy. If I've missed anyone, I do apologise. It's quite difficult to craft and and talk and do it all at the same time. So there we are. So we've got some of those all the way around there. Let's just give that little block a little bit of a careful or not so careful clean. Now then, let's have a little look and see what we think. Whether the butterfly, yes, the butterfly is going to sit neatly into there. So I'm going to pick up just that dark blue onto there, because you have butterflies in the summer, don't you, when we have that, when we have those, and that will go there, and we'll just fill it. They're all beautiful, Laurie, and as I say, they're wooden blocks. So each, no matter where you get them from, each block is hand carved. It's an artisanal trade, and so no two are ever going to be the same. I'm not applying masses of pressure here, but I just am needing time for that to, you know, the paint to transfer through to, you know, to the fabric. And I just need I need to swing this around again. So this is what I mean by, you know, make things work for you. I do want don't want an upside down. It's okay, Julie. I live my life with mucky hands. You see me crafting in pajamas quite frequently because they're cheap and cheerful and can go in the bin. Yeah, if I get paint down them, and I'm not crying a sin. Thank you, Miss Edie. The butterfly is beautiful. As I say, I just need time to let that paint transfer through. There we are. Do we want, I think we might need more. I haven't got a smaller butterfly, more the pity, because I think I'd quite like a smaller one, but I do have some smaller dandelions that we might pop in. So there we are. So we're just working with the blues, and I think we're going to pop that just down there. Let me just move that up. There we are. We'll pop that there. And we're going to screen print the middle. What can run but never runs, has a mouth but never talks, has a head but never weeps, but has a bed but never has it. I've not a clue, Sophie, not a clue. There we are. So has that transferred? See, beautifully, maybe not so well. And it hasn't transferred so well there because that bit of that was off. There we are. Was off my squidgy mat. There we are. Hi, Anya. Welcome, my darling. Welcome. This is a bit different. Pentart have released a whole mountain of new fabric paints. They are incredibly fabric pigment dense, which is lovely. They can be thinned down with fabric medium to make them paler. They can be diluted with water if that's what you want to do. Once they've been dried for 24 hours, naturally dried for 24 hours, then bob them under an iron. The iron that will suit the fabric that you've used, for 2 minutes per area, and do make sure you have given it this 2 minutes. And then after that, you can put your stuff in the washing machine quite happily, and then machine washable. So that to me is a real positive, isn't it? So let's pop that over there. We've used that one. We've used that one. We haven't used that. We haven't used that, but we've got some little ones. So let's just add maybe some of that paler ink. There we are. Let's take that one out of the way. Pop that over there because I'm mixing up different companies' things here, which is just fine. There we are. So let's just add a bit more white into there. Pop that over there. And then the blues are beautiful. So this is a different range of blues than the ones I used on my Pentart live, which is available for people to watch if you didn't manage to see it earlier on. So I've got a tiny little block here. I thought I had a half block as well, but hey, yeah, there we are. So we're going to do a little bit of infilling now with some of these smaller blocks. So let's just pick up a mixture, and what's on that, this bit is on, so we can add, might have a little bit to do here. There we are. There we are. And I'm going to go part on, part off here because I'm deliberately building up a visual border around my, don't think I want quite so much on there, but hey ho, around my screen stencil, and that's fine. There we are. So let's just pop this around. And we've got another smaller stamp, so that's okay. So we'll just work our way. Let me just shovel that back into there for you. There we are. Make sure we've got a reasonable amount there. And then we'll slide that over a little bit. Keeping it on my mat. There we are. There we are. And we'll just carry on. And of course you can then do this front and back for your pieces. There we are. So I'm just picking up paint that's left in my sponge at the moment. So let's just turn this around. And then even if, you know, I think these are, you know, these will be relatively easy to reproduce. You know, if you're needing to do things for selling, to make, you know, to earn some money to pay for your crafty goodies, I think that these are not impossible makes to reproduce relatively quickly. Which is always an advantage, isn't it? I don't know, I did that. There we are. Let's just pop that onto there. And then we'll add a half one there because we want to. Let's just give that a little wipe. We might treat ourselves to a clean baby wipe in a minute. This is all a bit messy. Hi, Debbie. Welcome, welcome. Hey, daughter's walking home from the station for a very good. Well, that all sounds like progress in steps to adulting. Very important lesson for people to learn. Very important. So definitely got lots of shades of blue here. So now I'm going to add this little stamp. So we've got, again, I'm just all from the theme. So there we are. Let's just pop that. Let's just add some of these. I don't know if second generation will work reasonably. There we are. We'll just fill in where we can. There we are. Don't have to have it all accurate. There we are. We might put some more paint into there in a minute, because why not? I think we might well need a bit more paint. I think it's going to look pretty. It's going to be an incomplete frame, but then, you know, I can take a pen and, you know, a fabric pen later on and draw in a line if I want to have it a more complete line. And all I'm doing, I'm deliberately keeping it tonal by mixing the colours on the plate with all of them. You know, I've just got a goodly mix, haven't I? So that's also cool. So let's just move that over. Let's just take that off the bottom because that's going to work. There we are. That can sit there. We might, shall we have another? I think we might just have another half a one there, because why not? Because that's what I feel like. There we are. And we'll move that over so it still now sits on my piece. There we are. Pop that over there. Stick that onto frame. Well, sort of into frame. It's not wonderfully in shot, but hey ho. So we'll just add a bit of that, and we'll add a piece there. We'll add a bit there. We'll add a bit coming out there, and we'll add a bit there, and we'll add, because we have these, we might as well. There we are. We're building up just a collage, pretty summary, hopefully bits and pieces. There we are. Cool. Well, I rather like. So let me give this one a little clean too. As I say, we're using lots of different bits and pieces. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know you unless I was to grid the whole thing out completely, Sue, then I would I would absolutely have to you either go completely random, or you accept that that's what it is, or you have to be absolutely meticulously accurate. And at this time of the night, because it's now 9:30 in the UK, it's definitely too late for me to be worrying about being uber precise. So let me just put that. So let's just wipe that up. As I say, ladies, I'm not going to waste this paint. It will be converted into fabric flowers. So mucky fingers just while I massage it around. Then I can pop these up for drying. That can go on there because that's the convenient space for there. So that's my camera that I've just popped that on. There we are. We'll pop that over there, and then we'll wipe the next bit of excess off with a kitchen towel, and then we can think about where we're going. So let's just pop this, get rid of the blue off that plate. Yes, I did nick one of the household plates, it has to be said, because why not? And I can't keep that on there now, so let me just move that properly into place for everyone. So right, so this is silver metallic paint. Now this is a screen print, ladies, so we can literally just drop some of that on here. We might need a bit more, might add in a little bit of white into that. There we are. We're just going to move this on here, and it will all get mixed up because that's the nature of a screen print, and we'll worry about the words afterwards because we might well go over that with the words with some black. Anyway, so as I say, this is a screen print, so I should now, because it's stuck down, just, he says, be able to press through don't particularly want to go off the end. Let me just pop a little bit of that down there and go back up. So soft squidgy plastic through the whole tiny holes in the screen print. Let's just wipe that off onto one of my wipes that I will use for screen printing, for printing anyway. Now the headache with screen prints is that the stencil is full of tiny holes, so you need to pull it off. Yeah, I like it when a plan comes together. And I'm just going to stick it straight into, literally straight into a bucket of water, because if I don't, I know that I will cream cracker the holes in that. So there we are. So we've got a nicely framed piece there with nice words in the middle, and Just Breathe seems completely out for this time of the night. Now I also want to give that a dry. There we are. We'll just give this I totally am used at drying them. So I've got a series of Pentart lives to do with the fabric paints, Anya, over the next few weeks. It's the joy of being on a creative team. You get stuff to use that you really wouldn't normally use, and sometimes that's a pain. And fabric paints is one of those things that I don't normally do. Not paint color, painting per se is definitely not my normal thing. So I've sourced a whole collection of useful things like screen prints, and also and blocks and things, so that I don't have to actually try and paint, because it just wouldn't look good at all if I just tried to paint, because I know my limits. So I'm going to give this a dry, and then we're going to add a little bit of glitter maybe. But if I try adding glitter onto here at the moment, we're going to get it everywhere. So very monochrome, very framed, but it works for me. Hello, Grandma Jo. Welcome. Hi, Helena. Thank you for joining us. It's really lovely that people have, and I know that this is a bit different to something that Terry would do, but as I say, that's 10:30 in the 9:30 in the UK. Just needed something that was going to be relatively simple, would show some of the new products that Teresa and Ep.226 will be getting in, and therefore Terry you will be able to buy shortly from Ep.226 using Terry's affiliate link if you haven't got them locally, or as a retailer. Hopefully you'll get some supply or people interested in them. So they really don't take very long to dry. But if I try adding glitter onto this at the moment, we might just have a bit of a pickle, because it will go everywhere, and it will stick in areas where I might not necessarily want it. There we are. Not quite dry. So put your hands in it, because that's the way you check whether something's dry, isn't it? Thank you, Sandy. Thank you. I have to say, I think this colour range is beautiful. So I've used, for the darker blue, petrol blue. I've used some sky blue, and I've used white, and I've mixed them all up together to get the shades of blue that I've used. And then I've used the silver metallic and some white in the centre, just to give a gentle feel to the whole piece. and I masked out the centre with the stencil so that I could, you know, deliberately have some quieter areas in it. And then we're going to have a little think about what we might want to do. Okay, I have bought some glitter, and we've got the fabric medium. I might just do a bit of splatter with the fabric medium, because why not? Because the alternative would be to paint areas of some of these with the fabric medium. So why don't we try that? You know, I've got little brushes. We can do a little bit of stippling, stumbling with some of the fabric medium, because the fabric medium will hold the glitter and will. That closet is huge, Grandma Jo. And I'm sorry, Grandma Jo, I don't know your proper name, so I can't say that. Hello, Kiki. Welcome from Greece. So it will be 10:30 in the evening, 10 in the evening. Have you been celebrating Greek Orthodox Easter? Because I know that's it is your big week. Is that what you call it? I think maybe. Hello, Janini. Welcome. Right. So let's take some of this. So this is the fabric medium, and this Terry has used or shown recently that she used it on her, on her pieces, and she primes her fabric before she adds her decoupage medium to it, and according to Pentart, it's a primer. It will dry clear, which is obviously an advantage, isn't it, if it will dry clear? So we're just going to add little bits of this into and around our thing. So but you can also mix this with your paints to thin out the colour, which because they are so intensely coloured that you might not want them to be quite so dark, and you can thin things out with them. So that's all. It's an extra trick, isn't it, to know? So, but these will, as I say, these little white splodges I'm putting on will dry clear, but it will hold glitter, or so the theory goes. So why not? Yes, is our big week. We shall pass. Yeah, there we are. So we'll just pop some of that. So this is the Pentart Eco Glitters, but any fine glitter I think will work. And we'll give this a little bit of a shake. Let's just make sure we've got it covered. There we are. Well, I hope that you celebrate it and have good times with family. I know it might seem criminal, but we might just be throwing that lot into the floor. We'll give that a good shake, and I'll be covered in glitter for the rest of the week. There we are. So it's predominantly, if I wriggle it, it might not show very well. There we are. It's given my dandelion a little shimmer. So that just adds a little bit of extra interest, which I think is quite nice. So that's using the fabric medium. There we are. Oh, she says, whether these pearl pens will work. Yeah. Okay. So you don't need to use glitter if you don't want to. I haven't tried, though it did occur to me to tip it into some fabric medium and use that. So this is a Decor Pearl pen. I don't have the glitter ones because I'm phobic to those, but it will allow me just to add a little bit of extra detail. So I can pop these on. It really should be one of the last things you do, because these will take a while to dry. She says, not wishing to get that. There we are. that onto there. So it just allows me to have some extra texture and some extra interest to the piece. And I'm wondering whether my ability to draw a line with this will work. How well do I want to risk it? Well, why not? Why not? We've got, so we can add, we can just join up. We'll have a wiggly line. Why not? We might have 2 wiggly lines. There we are. We can just happily frame our piece. And sometimes you're better off having 2 wiggly lines and deliberately wobbly, because then no one will know that that was not the exact intention to be uneven and wibbly wobbly. There we are. I might just come out of there a little bit because it looks a little bit too even. And if you really want to, you could add a third, but maybe that's pushing our luck just a little bit too much. There we are. So would you compare it to Stickles? Stickles to me, Lisa, is glittery rather than this, and this is like a pearl liquid. So if you can get, I think in the States you can buy tonic products, so tonic Nouveau drops I think would be the alternative equivalent, but I think Teresa should from TH Decor should be able to get the pearl pens in if she doesn't already have them in. So we have a little bag. The bag was about 99p, so cheap as chips. It's been decorated relatively cheaply. If people wanting them, they will absolutely be available in the US. Before I decided what I was going to do, I messaged Teresa, who I'm lucky enough to count as a friend, and asked her if she was going to be stocking them, because I didn't think it fair to do a live with a product that you might not be able to get going forward. So she did a live with her for her retailers ahead of, so she could they could sort out what they wanted ahead of ahead of launch. They went to market yesterday, and so they will be shipping from Hungary out to the US at some point this weekend, I would suspect, and then Teresa will load them onto her website, ship them out to retailers. And I'm just going to grab another pack of baby wipes, ladies, because we've got paint every which way. Actually, we're not, because we're going to need a new box of them, which is over there. So we'll just make do with what we can find. So they will be shipping fairly soon, and and we'll make sure Terry announces it, and then you'll be able to use Terry's affiliate link and help her with any expenses that she might have. So really pretty, really good for activities, metallics, matte colors, tonal colors, blacks and whites, so you can add lots of shades and tones of yourself, and then they're all color mixable. Let me just move this to a place of safety, she says, whilst that, because those have to dry now, and it will take a little bit for those to dry. And for those of you that didn't, were busy later on, one of the plus sides of all of these pigments is that, so this is a Pentart bag because I didn't have anything black. So I thought I would do something on a black background, because the products were meant to cover dark, rich colours easily. And so I've taken the palest pink. I know that looks white there, but it's actually pale pink, and the fuchsia pink, and just put it straight onto a black fabric bag. So if these paints will cover black fabric bags, think about how nice they're going to look on your denim jeans. Block printing will make that very easy for you. Or anything, any other things that you've got, and they do look absolutely amazing. And given that these have gone through a fairly intricate stencil, that text is not big, and they're a thick paint, we've kept lots of the definition and the colours in that. And just let me show you some alternative options. So this is a little pouch. You can put whatever you want into it. Yeah, I put a pot plant into it, and I've just mixed my own brown colours together and then block printed my mushrooms and my little birdhouse. So, so a really helpful home decor piece. Wanted a little pendant. So this is just helping to showcase all of the colours. So this again, it's just a fabric pendant bought in the UK from a well-known shop. The blues, shades of blues in the background, and then screen printed through a stencil with the orange, the red, the yellow, and some green, and pulled through. So you can see that the top layer stenciled florals have covered completely the blue underneath, and then I've just added black words over the top, though it's the black paint through, so you can see how they layer and how you can build detail that way. So these were done for Pentart for the launch. So this is a little rucksack, so children's book bag will work. Let's turn it round the right way. They're incredibly light, and these are all single layer coats. I haven't had to work at building up any of these colours. Yeah, so this is the greens and the yellows ombre together, and then the dark blue over the top. And the dark blue was the one I didn't use, and then splattered. So, and then I've just outlined my blocks with a black fabric pen. Okay, so that's that one. And then the last one that I did tonight on the Pentart Live, because it's now dry, it was this one. So I've ombreed mint green, the turquoise blue to pull these together, and then over stenciled with the copper and the bronze over here, and this is the gold around the edges. So they're super pigmented. They layer really well. They're nice and thick, so you don't get a huge amount of bleed. My stenciling is never there. There you go. Thank you. So yes, it is the one I did today, and it's not quite completely dry. So those are the products. Well, that's what I was going to show you this evening. I knew I was going to be tired because of having done the Pentart launch live earlier on, but didn't want to say no to Terry when she asked if I could do tonight. So, so I apologize. Except that it's a relatively short live, but it will have done its job at keeping the page active for Terry. And once all of these are completely dry, so 24 hours, they will get a jolly good iron for 2 minutes on the back side. So I'm not putting the heat directly on a non-iron, a non-steam iron, so a flat dry iron. And then once they've been heat set like that, then they are able to be machine washed at a low temperature. Don't put them on a boil wash. They're not meant for that. But a handheld wash or hand wash in the washing machine, or a 20 to 30 degree cycle, and you can absolutely manage to do that. Thank you, Grandma Jo. Thank you very much for those lovely words. I will be back on Sunday night for Terry. With something that's maybe a bit more traditional, because I almost certainly will do something much more mixed, more media-ish, probably featuring lots of molds, probably not a furniture upcycling thing. I'll leave that to Terry, but something very different to this. But I just wanted to introduce you to these as a product that I know is coming into the States fairly soon, and hope that you would enjoy seeing them being used in a fairly simple way. If you want to see stunning painting, then I suggest you watch the Pentart live from Tuesday night, where Judith hand painted an amazing toucan onto a t-shirt. Not my skill, absolutely stunning to watch. But my suggestion is that you turn the sound down and just speed watch through it, because it took quite a long time. So I'm going to sign off for now. Please keep yourself safe, whatever you're doing through the weekend. And I shall be back live for Terry on Sunday at the same time. And I will almost certainly have a much longer demonstration or product, unless to talk about the products, a much more project-based demo then. So let me move my mouse around so I can get to that. So I'm going to say good night, take care, and see you soon.